Good evening tonight and welcome here as we have the Radicals around Oulton Park, and my word am I looking forward to this, because as you can see on the left hand side there we have so many cars here tonight. We're hopefully going to get a final few more, but we're at the very final stages of qualifying. We have two races today, two 20-minute races, and I can't wait. I really cannot wait for these ones. We've just reached the end of qualifying. Like I said, we're going to get straight into our warm-up session, our first warm-up session, and we're going to get two 20-minute races. The reason I didn't want to commentate on qualifying is I have no additional lap times. Literally everything you see is what I see. I'm very limited on rFactor 2 at the moment, with there not being any official DX11 overlay available at the moment. This is what I'm limited to with my resources that I've been given, so I can't really do qualifying, and I found it so difficult over the past few weeks to do commentating on qualifying sessions. However, the races, I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Now, this driver here has not actually come into the pit lane since the start of qualifying. This is Ollie McGowan. He's a Speedy Mike racer, if you couldn't tell by his car. Obviously, this car, this skin, in fact, the Speedy Mike skin is an official skin in the game. If you go out and get one of these Radicals, that Speedy Mike car is one of the official in-game skins, and that's because it was competition. That's the Image Space Incorporated, the company that made rFactor, well, that are running along with rFactor 2. They didn't actually make it in the first place, but the ones that are now working with rFactor 2, they opened the competition up, of course, for the skins, and some of these skins just absolutely beautiful, and they look amazing in DX11. Currently then, if you look on the left hand side, that's our qualifying order. My name is placed in there purely because I can't watch a spectator with this overlay. It doesn't always work for me. It sometimes does, but I'd rather not risk it. But yeah, you can see through there we got loads of names. Obviously Dino Parolini, we saw in the kart races a while back that he was actually quite a strong driver. I think that was actually, what, last week, week before, Dino Parolini won all three races, I believe, in the karts. He did a really fantastic job with that, as we are going to be heading across into the warm-up session, the 5-minute warm-up session, very, very shortly. Also through the order, Matt Legale, of course, we've seen a lot of him in Automobilista, in Race Room, and in rFactor 2 as well. Same as Steve Legale, who's further down the order, so 7th and 19th by the Legales. Paul Fenwick near the rear, 24th position. We see him quite a lot as well. Gasper Zupan sitting in 17th. So there are quite a lot of drivers that obviously come here quite a lot. There's also a few new names. I don't think I've seen Ferran Grau before. Jorge Fernandez, a rather new name. Hans Melkar, also a rather new name. So there are still rather new names coming up, and it's really good if you want to get involved in these races then, as we are in our warm-up session at the moment. If you do want to get involved in these races, it's pretty easy to do so. All you have to do is head over to racedepartment.com, become a premium member, which only costs $7.50 at the moment, which is absolutely no money at all, and that's for the entire year on Race Department. You get to join us in these club events. You also get to join us in our league events. We've got the Race Department Le Mans series still running at the moment. We've got round number 4 at Road America in about a month's time. That's going to be fantastic. We've also got, starting in September, the GT League on Race Room. And then we've also got another league at the moment waiting to be announced for you guys. And that'd be quite cool to see all of those come around, and you can get involved in those. All you have to do is head over to racedepartment.com and become a premium member. But for now, let's focus on tonight's racing, because we've got a lot of cars going out onto the track tonight. It's a rather short circuit, it's rather tight, it's rather compact, and so are our races. Two 20-minute races then. We had that last week in the touring cars, and we saw some absolutely fantastic racing for some of the drivers. Unfortunately, in the second race that I was racing in, there was a lot of chaos going outside my window, so I couldn't quite get sorted. It looks like Miguel Muniz is going to do a practice start here, so we'll have a little bit of a look at that. But yeah, it's not been the best of racing for me at the moment, which is why I'm just going to take a step back and see how well these drivers do, because they're really strong. As we've also got Paul Schaefer in 20th, we got Carlos Alba in 19th. So there's still a number of drivers, and see, even some of our stronger drivers are sitting near the rear of the field, because, well, I say rear, midfield sort of range. Ian Navarro currently 12th position, and on Automobilista he can really get up and cause quite a scene. Ian Navarro, I believe, yeah, because in Caterham's just yesterday, Navarro was one of the drivers that were really causing a stir up at the lead. Good evening, though, everyone watching tonight. Be sure to say hello in chat. I will interact with most of the stuff that is going on. We are about 2 minutes away from going green for the first of our 2 races this evening. As I'm just... Ooh, I got 2 little buttons that do almost nothing. Why do I have those? I don't know, but looking at Cosmos Japone here. Another new name for me tonight. That's the thing, we've got so many new names. It's so nice to see that during this time, even though it's the summertime, we know that we lose a lot of people in our club events purely because it's too hot. The events are a lot later than during the winter time because of the damn... changing in the clock. I mean, what is that? Why do we need changes in the clocks? Who wants to petition with me to stop these damn clock changes? Because they're ridiculous. They're stupid and they just ruin everything when it comes to trying to set up plans. The only reason I'm getting glitching now is because people have exited and now they're entering the server. And as I'm only in replay mode, it means that you are able to all see the... well, it's all loading the cars, so it means that there will be glitches as we load the cars. And you can see yellow flags coming out in most of the Sector 1 most of the time here. That's because people are practicing their starts. We're less than a minute away now until drivers will start to get onto the grid. Good evening, everyone watching tonight. I hope you are doing well. This is our second of 8 streams that we're doing this week. Because we have 2 on Saturday. That's right, we have 2 streams on Saturday. So we have second of 8 streams. Tomorrow, though, we have the rookies. We're back to the rookies on the Wednesday on Assetto Corsa. Although it's not the Abarth, which was the first ever event I did. Obviously, I broadcast for you guys was the Abarthi Party. And that was in the Abarth around Silverstone National. But we're going to be going into the TT Cups instead, which I had the opportunity to race last night in the US Club. And my God, it was so much fun. I really wish I was driving myself tomorrow, but I think it's best if I just stay behind the mic instead. But then on Thursday, I am going to go behind the wheel because we are racing around Zandvoort in the Silhouette Series on Race Room, as the checkered flag comes out to signify the end of this session. On Friday, though, we have the Mazda MX-5s, and I will be racing in that too. Then on Saturday, we have a surprise stream. And then in the evenings, we have the Boxmasters around Bahrain. That is on rFactor 2 and still has sign-up spaces available, so be sure to go and check that out. And then on Sunday, of course, we have Race Room Sunday. That is the signal for us to know that we are going to be going green very shortly. And I'm going to try my hardest to find a camera that views the starting grid. Does that one? That views the back. Okay, that's good enough. Oh my God, it's got one of those men in the distances. Oh, no way. I want to get closer to him at the same time I don't. Oh my God, it's got one of those wriggly men. Anyway, we are professional. The lights will be going up very, very shortly. There they go. And we are green, we are away. And I don't think most people knew that it was no formation lap. We are green. A lot of people going quite slowly off the line near the rear. But at the front, Ivan has taken the lead straight away ahead of Dino. Dino's now under attack from Miguel, who's going to sit behind. But further down your field, though, definitely drivers running side by side. That's Ian Navarro on the outside of Gasper Grabenk. Grabank's going to be able to hold it. Now on the exit, Gasper is going to be under attack from Daniel Adele, who has to drop off of that. Near the rear, I did hear some contact, but it looks like it was Ken Hunter falling down the order. Everyone else seems to have got through nice and cleanly. Ivan is pulling a gap ahead of Dino already. Good evening, Sasso, Michael, Stewie, and Craigie. Good evening. Oh, Miguel Muniz in third position. Now, we know he's a really good driver, a really fast driver in the Indy cars. We saw him a lot in the lead, definitely in the RDGPC, but he's going to be under attack and down the position to Ferran Grau here, who's now up to third. And that is going to be Miguel Muniz down the position. He's good on oval racing, but maybe not so much on this street course racing. In NASCAR terms, obviously, in oval terms, this is a road course, even though it's not really on really a race. It's not on a real road. It's not a racing road. But Malagale in sixth will be trying to get involved into that battle now. Further down, it seems to have sorted itself out for the most part. Drivers definitely into single file as we continue to flick through. As that was Gasper Grabank losing even more positions as he goes down. As we are going to have a little look. Oh, this is the view for... Well, that's not. This is the view from Matt Legale as he looks towards Jorge Fernandez and Miguel Muniz. And he's in behind. And it looks like Muniz is going to... Fernandez, sorry, is going to go on the inside of Muniz. He backs out into turn number 2. Has to stay behind at the moment. But, oh my God, that's going to be a big sliding into the barrier. Goes Miguel Muniz. It certainly does seem like this, the road course racing is not really Muniz's style, and it is oval racing that he really capitalises on the competition. Opferkirk looking to get past Muniz, but going slightly wide in the hairpin down at the bottom. Yellow flags in sector 1, and that's because Matej Vachhuza has gone around through turn number 3. He's going to lose those positions. Paul Fenwick is going to be up the inside of Simeon Iloweski. And he's going to be able to make that move. Paul Fenwick up into P25. As we continue to have a little look. The leading 5 really separated out. Johannes Malika not too far behind Matt Legale, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything at the moment. Eduardo Sa in 7th, and he's got Oli McGowan in 8th. They're the two Speedy Mike cars running around. He's got Miguel Muniz looking to move back up the position. He's sitting in 9th position at the moment. Cosmos Japone in 10th is leading Eric Ockverk there, but behind it's going to be side by side Etor Sintes and Ian Navarro, and a big side from Sintes, another driver who did really well on oval racing, really showed his side in the RDGPC. On rFactor 2, in fact, so they really do know the way around the sim. As Jazz Forsberg is going to look to get up into 14th position up the inside of Daniel Adele. He can't quite do it, but he's got the line. Adele slightly wide. He's going to go as defensive as possible. They're going to continue running side by side now into turn number 2, and Riddell's got the position, but will that be a switchback from Forsberg? Can't quite do it at the moment, still behind. He moves to the left hand side. He looks like he's going to gain the advantage on the number 66 car of Riddell, and he's going to have it. There's a little bit of a tap, but he is through. Forsberg is through and past Riddell. Another yellow flag out in the first sector. I don't know who's gone around this time. Looking at your left hand side, seeing who's falling down your order. Very possibly could have been Carlos Alba. Ian Navarro off at the first chicane there. And he's now going to be under attack from Gasper Zupan. Going to be on the inside into the chicane. A little bit of a lock-up there from Navarro, but he's been able to hold the position. A little bit of side-by-side from behind as well. And that was Steve Legale holding the position ahead of Eduardo Sa. So it was actually Sa who lost down the order quite a lot, actually. Yeah, he was the driver that pulled out the yellow in the first sector. That was Miguel Muniz getting a little bit too much on the grass. He did move up into P number 8, and that was past Strapone, but he's lost it down to 9th, and now he looks like he's going to lose it to 10th. Eric Ofkirk again on the inside. Can't quite do it. Oh, no, he's going to have to stay behind in 10th at the moment. Miguel Muniz is going to be hanging on to that 9th. He'll be kicking himself, though, knowing that he can pull it back up the order. 3rd and 4th, which is Fernandez and Matt Legale, have closed up. Because Matt Legale's up to 4th. So it was actually one of our top 5 that lost it down the order and probably brought out the yellow flags. Good evening, Andrew, as well. Fernandez is getting really... The pressure is piling on for Matt Legale here. We're going to ride on board with Matt again and just see his line as he gets a little bit of a faster exit. He's going to be over the rear of Fernandez here. Fernandez, I don't know why I said Ferdinandez, that's just a really weird name. Fernandez, there you go. In 3rd, is Matt Legale looking for that podium. Will he be able to do it? I'm not too sure. We've got all 29 of our starters still racing, almost 7 minutes in. We're almost halfway now. Matt Legale looking for 3rd position in tonight's race. Race number 1 of 2, of course. 2 racers heading your way. Further down the order, it looks like it's all settled, apart from Daniel Adele running slightly wide. I was going to say he's actually really still hanging on the back of Jazz Forsberg to gain back the position, but he can't quite do that. Now, Piotrowski is only just ahead of Schaefer and Grabank, so those 3 cars actually not too far apart. We're running on board with Grabank here, and just see that actually rather close between the 3 of them. They head into that final sector. Now I'm going to go backwards quickly to get back to that battle at the front because it's just going to be quicker that way. And as you can see, Matt Legale still all over the rear of Fernandez, but oh, that was a big slide on the exit of turn number 1. That's going to lose him a little bit of time. This is on board Malika. He sits in 5th and can see that battle in front of him, probably hoping they'll start to slow each other up and it will allow Malika to get onto that podium battle. As we are about 8 minutes into the race now. Matt Legale still on the rear. Fernandez looking for a podium. Will he be able to do it? Getting into the hairpin now. Doesn't look like he's got a faster exit that time. Definitely went to Jorge Fernandez, holding on to 3rd position rather well at this point. Matt Legale using as much apex as he can. It's very scary though going through that move, using as much apex as you can, because you've got to turn into the corner and pretty much aim for the barrier in order to get through. You've got to close in. Look at that. It's getting really tight. Turn the corner again, get really close to that inside barrier. And I mean, when I was running around this circuit, it is really scary to have to chase someone down, push as hard as you can. You know you're already on the limits, but you got to push past those limits, and through the chicanes, it's really scary to do that. Coming into the final sector, though, they come. And Matt Legale, Jorge Fernandez, the gap looks about half a second between them, probably even less, actually. I'm not too sure whether it has closed up or not, and we shall see coming up through turn number 1 this time. As we go through, is it any closer? No, it doesn't look like it. Again, a bit of a slide from Matt Legale, but it looks like the gap has sort of held steady between the 2 of them. So they're still fighting. Jazz Forsberg still holding on to 13th. It looks like it now really starting to separate between the drivers. Are now getting into sort of a rhythm. Miguel Muniz has retired alongside Marjan Kodeman, so we've had 2 retirements unfortunately. Both still in the session though, so they will be joining us for race number 2 hopefully. Dino Parolini is still trying his hardest to catch back up to Ivan Ricker, but Ivan has just he got straight away into the lead from the start, and it's been absolutely fantastic for him to do that. Fernandez in 3rd position, still got Matt Legale on the rear, and it actually could be an overtake now. Look to the inside, gonna have to stick it behind, and now through the left-hander and through the right-hander, and it's gonna be really close between them. Ollie McGowan actually sitting in 6th position at the moment, has got Cosmo Strapone on the rear, so we could see a battle for 6th start to work out as Farron Grau has gone off the circuit. Will he be able to hold it together? He's gone off the other way. He's got back on, yellow flag out, but Airtel Sintez now under attack from Ian Navarro. They're going to have to avoid the slowing car of Grau just next to them, just next to them, and it looks like they're going to now be a 3-car battle. Grau's going to look for the move up the inside, has to dive to the outside. Ian Navarro goes for the inside line. I think he was really going for an overtake, but this time he's under attack and he's going to lose a position. What a move around the outside by Farron Grau. I think it was going for the inside, couldn't quite do it. Moved to the outside and it worked out a lot there. Worked out one heck of a treat. Airtel Sintez in P number 9 at the moment, and around goes in the row. Big hit into the wall, and what on earth was that? Daniel Adele pushing way too hard into turn number 1 and just slams into the wall as moving up, looking up the order here. We're going to go have a look once more at that battle for P number 6 that has Cosimo and Ollie in, and it looks like that gap sort of increasing a little bit. Same with that battle for P number 3 once more. It's starting to open up just that small amount, but only 9 minutes to go. We're over halfway through. It means drivers will be starting to go for those moves that really they wouldn't have done at the early point in the races. As looking down the order, Grau is still over the rear of Airsaw here. As they're sitting in 9th and 10th position at the moment. Zupan in 11th, Forsberg on 12th. Rui Martins and Bozo Fuge, they're sitting in 13th and 14th. And they're still really close as well, actually, in their battle. Yellow flag out once more. And I'm not too sure who that was, but it seems to not have affected many people once more. These yellow flags, they seem to be happening quite a lot, but it's not affecting anyone apart from the one driver by the look of it. I don't think I've seen a multi-car collision yet. I think I've only actually seen drivers run wide, spin themselves, which is great to see. Fernandez, well, it's not great to see really, but it's good to see that it's only the single car involved and not multiple cars. Fernandez still holding ahead of Legale in 3rd position with about 7.5 minutes to go. I think this is one of the battles to watch and just see how close Legale gets that left-hand side barrier. He's really he's got to have big old testicles to get through there, because my word, that it just is really scary, and sometimes pushing it right to the limits like that is not what you want to do. Still with 7 minutes to go, but I don't know whether it's actually closing up to Fernandez or not. Seems to be that Fernandez is pulling away along the far sections of the circuit, which well, I mean through the straights, and then Legale is able to close up during the corners, so maybe a little bit of lower downforce for Fernandez there. Coming through the right-hander and heading up towards the line now. And across the line, and the gap's going to be about 3/10, I'd say 2/10. Again, I can't get too much information with the limited DX11 stuff. I'm not able to get all of the overlay, but Legale has been able to close up right to the rear of Fernandez, and this very possibly could be where he makes the move. Will he go for the move at some point in the next few corners? He goes to the outside, has to hit the brakes, can't quite do it. He's going to swoop to the left-hand side. Fernandez tries to cut him off. He's able to. He holds his line, holds it in the middle of the circuit, so Legale had no choice but to stay behind, not able to move anywhere. Continuing along the straight now, and Legale still behind Fernandez. Not what he probably would have wanted to see after that amazing run out of turn number 1. Heading up towards the second chicane now with about 6 minutes to go in the session. Legale behind Fernandez. Will he be able to close up? I'm not too sure. He's been able to close up a little bit, but it's once again opened up just that small amount, and it could mean that Legale can't get through. Yellow flag's out once more, as there's been another spin somewhere on the circuit. It looks like it's Grau again. I've just seen him falling down the order on the left-hand side. Continues to fall, so I believe it is Grau. But here comes Matt Legale, still all over the rear. Will he be able to get through past Fernandez with just 5 minutes to go here? Which way will he go into turn number 1? He's going to look for the move around the outside into turn number 1. Breaks a little bit earlier. Maybe try for a switchback. Can't quite do it. He's going to have to stay behind for now. Up towards turn number 2. It's going to be interesting if he's going to be able to do something. He's right on the rear. He's backed off that little bit. Maybe sacrificing corner entry for a faster exit. It's not that at all. He's dropped off a little bit too much, and Fernandez able to pull away. So it doesn't look like Legale will be able to attack this time. And into the braking zone. Both drivers running slightly wide. Unfortunately, Legale running slightly wide. Fernandez is going to drop him off even more there. And through the left-hander, again, just really exploiting track limits there. And I think I'm going to have to tell a few people off for running to four wheels over the white line. But Legale is going to go onto the left-hand side. And no, can't quite do it. Going to have to turn in, and he's going to have to stay behind Fernandez at the moment. He's going to be trying his hardest to get through with just 4 minutes to go. And this is going to be really difficult here to be able to make the move, and we've seen that Legale's been trying to get into third all race, but he's not been able to do it. As oh my no, he's into third now because Jorge Fernandez is off, and a big hit with the barrier. So what could have been a really interesting end to the race, and it turns out it won't be for third because Fernandez is off. Matt Legale up to third. Dino Parolini still in second because Ivan Ricker has just pulled away into the leaders race, and he's been able to hold that gap steady. Here's up to back markers though, so hopefully he'll be able to get past them nice and cleanly. As you can see on the left hand side, that board displaying the LED blue lights. It means these drivers are getting the blue flags. Definitely the one just in front, but being ignored at the moment. And I think they're still being ignored. No, here he goes. He moves wide finally to allow Ivan Ricker through. Of course, Ricker wasn't too far behind, too close, I mean. So really, he wasn't losing any time by sitting behind that back marker. But the blue flags are out. It means you should be following them. The driver in front not yet getting the blue flags. If you look on the side of the circuit, you will see those LED boards, and they'll be green throughout all of the race, unless of course there's a yellow or a blue flag being shown. You see on the right hand side there, blue flag being waved, as well as the blue LED light. And now he's going to move to the right hand side and allow even Ricker through. So that's what you do. You wait until the best location to move out the way. I'm going the wrong way to look at drivers there. Dino Parolini also able to get through back markers here at the moment. But where did this battle come from? I know that Strapone and McGowan were having a nice little scrap, but here it is. McGowan holding on to 6th position, only just ahead of Cosimo Strapone here. They are sitting with about 2 minutes to go in the session. Surely that's 2 more laps to go with Ivan Ricker is on circuit. And Strapone drops off just that little bit from Ollie McGowan. I think that's because he was trying to run side by side into one of the chicanes. And if you try to do that and you don't get the position, you're going to lose a lot of time. But he's able to close up a little bit coming in through this final sector now and into the final corner. Strapone comes, and he's once again being able to close back onto the rear of Ollie. Really be able to do that. It's going to be interesting as they come across the line now. In this battle for 6th position, it looks like hopefully will go to the line, unlike that battle for 3rd, which we were hoping it would. Jorge Fernandez obviously making a mistake down in that final sector with just 3 turns to go of the lap. He runs off and slams into the barrier, gifting Matt Legale 3rd position. They were battling all race for that. But Cosmo Strapone on the rear of Ollie McGowan moves out of the 6th stream to show Ollie that he's there, gets back behind, and then move to the left again, just showing Ollie that he's in his mirrors, that he is there. A little bit of a wobble though, and really tight lines by both drivers. It looks like it's going to be Strapone's exit though. He's got a little bit of a faster run on the exit of that corner. Now coming in through the chicane. And Ollie McGowan goes a little bit slow. It's caught Strapone out. You heard him had to gear down midway through that corner because he wasn't expecting Ollie to go so wide and so slow, which unfortunately meant that Strapone had to hit the brakes because he wasn't going to be able to make the corner without hitting the back of McGowan. And Strapone is onto the grass, and his... what happened to these battles with just 22 seconds to go on the time? There's just one more lap. They decide that they don't want to battle to the line. But Cosmo Strapone has lost the position to Eric Ockford, which means that we do have a battle for the final lap. And it's going to be Strapone behind Ockford. It's going to be Strapone behind Ockford here. That's for P number 7 now. It's a shame that Strapone couldn't be able to make a move past McGowan, just making one little mistake. That's sometimes all it takes for you to lose position, sometimes for you to lose multiple positions. Chapone moves to the inside line. He's going to try the inside into turn number 1. Nope, he backs it out. And he's not going to go for that. He loses a little bit of time with Ockfoot for that as well. He's just... That's another thing. He backs out too late. He knows he's going to back out. He's like, I'm not going to do that move. I'm going to wait till the next corner. But because he backs out so late, he loses more time than if he just went in to attempt the overtake. He needs to, if he's going to back out from the corner, he needs to do it a lot earlier than that. Otherwise, he is going to continue losing time. And hopefully, he'll learn that for race number 2. It is the end of the session. Ivan Rico is going to win your race. Dino Parolini is going to come in second, followed by Matt Legale, Jorge Fernandez, and Jose Melicar. Ollie McGowan is going to take 6th. But what is this 7th and 8th position going to be? Because Strapone's been able to close right up onto the rear again. And that is actually Ollie McGowan just up ahead. So he's not too far ahead. And one mistake could lose in both these positions. But here comes Strapone on the inside of the chicane. And Strapone has made the move. What a move past Ockberg there. As he is able to get up the inside. What a move past Strapone there. Past Ockberg as he's able to make the move up the inside. It is going to be the position to Ollie McGowan though. As checker flag is out. As Ivan Rico did take home your race victory. But Cosimo Strapone able to get back into 7th at the end of that motor race. But we've still got a second race to come. Don't you fret. We've got another race to come and it's going to be just as fun as that one. Hopefully even more fun. Drivers learning from their mistakes means that they will be able to improve into race number 2. As my camera has decided to do really weird things. There we go. That's what I wanted. As you can see, the marshal waving the checkered flag over there. Oh my god, that TV camera thingy in the background also has our... No way. That is literally just... That is our camera. That's so cool. Anyway, I'm having too much fun. Okay, anyway, that's the end of the session then. Let's do a quick run through your order. Ivan Rico won your race, only just a second ahead of Dino Parolini. Matt Legale far behind for that. Jorge Fernandez in 4th and Jose Melicar in 5th. Ollie McGowan finishing 6th, followed by Cosimo Strapone, Eric Ockberg, Aetel Sintes and Gaspar Zupan running out your top 10. The rest of your field with Jazz Forsberg, Bozu, Fuse, Gaspar Grabank, Louis Martin, Steve Legale. We still got Eduardo Sa, Radoslaw Piotrowski running around as well. They're coming across the line now. Ken Hunter is actually up that position because it looks like Radoslaw is a lap down of some sort of penalty given to Radoslaw. Just Matet now to come across the line. And then we had a DNFs all at the rear. We had a rather large amount of DNFs come the end. But we are going to just wait 1 second and then we will restart the warm-up session. Here we go. Restart warm-up. As everyone has come across the line and finished. And now we have another lovely warm-up session to begin. Ready for race number 2. And that'll be yet another 20-minute race. The order decided from your qualifying session that we had just before the stream started. So it'll be the same starting order as race number 1. And that's purely because I can't be bothered to put in a second qualifying between the 2 races. It's pretty easy. All is said, saying restart warm-up. All I have to do is go to qualifying, start qualifying. But I don't like having a second qualifying. It's rather boring to be in between a race and having to do another hot lap. Sometimes it does mean you are faster, the qualifying position changes, but it's interesting to see second attempts as if it were. What could you have done differently in the second race? And that's exactly what we're going to see here with about 4 minutes on our clock. And then we will be going into race number 2. Now, there were some really interesting overtakes there. A few lockups to make the moves, but overall, that was a lot of fun to witness, really, as we are going into race number 2. Hopefully, we'll see a few more closer battles up at the top of your grid. And Oulton Park, I was reading through the chat. Yes, Oulton Park, a really nice circuit indeed, and I think this combination works well as well. There are a few drivers running the Speedmite livery, Stewie, and that's one of those drivers of the Ollie McGowan, a Speedmite driver himself. So Yes, and I did try to turn up the volume sounds halfway through that race. I did see the message saying from rFactor saying that if you wanted some more car sounds. Now, I can't turn it up too much, of course, because I'm not too sure what would start to drown me out, because I did have that issues when I used to do POV streams, that I would be completely drowned out by the game and by the TS audio, that hardly any of you could hear me, but none of you complained, which is very weird. But anyway, we're going about 3 minutes away from race number 2. Hopefully drivers will realise there's no formation lap this time, because a few drivers did make that mistake. We saw at the rear, some of them didn't go straight away, purely because I think most of our drivers do come across from Automobilista, and Automobilista is the only sim where we run a formation lap, because it's the only sim we're able to. rFactor 2 we are able to, but I decided not to, purely because we do have instance under the formation lap that can be avoided, but some people just don't learn, so let's not give them the option to damage their car before the race begins. And that's some weird glitching going on in the pit lane, because what else do you want between two races? 2.5 minutes to go, and then we will be going green for race number 2. It was actually quite a nice race. That battle for third position that was going on for quite a lot between Jorge Fernandez and Matt Legale for P number 3. Now, that was actually a really nice battle until it ended quite close to the end, but it's a shame that it did have to end, because it was a really nice battle. And then that battle between Ollie McGann and Cosimo Strapone, it turned into the battle between Strapone and Offerkirk. I mean, it was really, when we just went and had a little look at them, they were side by side, and we did see, we did see multiples that Strapone lost time because he backed out of moves too late. And the thing is, we did see in that final move that Strapone made past Offerkirk that he just went in right to the end. He went for that move. He wanted to get the inside line, and it worked out really well for him to be able to do that. But it took him a while to gain the confidence. We saw that he was going to do it. Right at the last possible moment, he just backed out. He was thinking, no, I'm not going to do this. And that's what lost him so much time. And I believe that's what lost him out, that battle, that position to McGowan. Because if he didn't back out going into that chicane, I don't think he would have run wide the following lap. And it could have been a very good battle indeed. As we are coming around, you can definitely turn it up more. Okay, that's fine then. But like I said, I just didn't know. I don't know very much, because I can't actually hear the volume myself, because it's very quiet in my headphones to make sure that I don't talk too loud, but I talk too loud anyway. We're on board with Suzium Olis. It's always his name. Simon Olizarowski? I'm not too sure. I always get one name. It's like I've been trying to pronounce Olizarowski's name for weeks, months even, I think. But I just never get to do it. As we continue into the end of the session, we are about 15 seconds away. And we do not run this weekly. We only have one event every single week on rFactor 2. This is your one event of the week for rFactor 2. And it's different car track combination every week. So we probably won't run the Radicals again for another month or two. Unless we decide to bring in more days where we run. Of course, this week is a special week, because on Saturday we do have a fun event. The last Saturday of every single month we'll be having a fun event on rFactor 2. This month it's the Box Masters of our own, so be sure to go and sign up for that if you've not already done so. The end of the session is here. Checkered flag is out. And that's what you love to hear, because that means the race is about to begin. And there we go. Oh my god, we're right next to him. Hey, we're right next to him. He just went all the way down there, and just copying him now. This is fun. Hey, he goes all the way down. Hey, I think he does the same actions over and over. 1 minute he'll go down in a minute, and hey, there we go. And he's up, and he's I should do this when I'm drunk. That would just be fun. And there he goes. He's down, and he's up. Oh, are we going green? Okay, so we'll watch the race. And we are green, and we are away, and once more, actually, that looks like an amazing start from, actually, that is Ivan again, I believe. Looking up the order. Is it going to remain clean into turn number 1? There's a little bit of a taps, and that is going to be Eduardo Sá wide. That's also Ollie McGowan off the circuit. Further up your field, it's going to be Matt Legale down to 6th position here. I believe that's where about he started. He's down to 7th though. Fernandez up the move. Malakar down as he's off the circuit. And now here comes Legale around the outside, and he's going to be able to make that move up as well. In your lead though, it's going to be Ivan Ricco, leading Dino Paolini, leading Miguel Muniz. Hopefully Muniz will be able to keep it together this time. And James Grant, I'm not too sure if the server will be kept up too for long after, because we do have to set up the Saturday race event, so I'm not too sure. Ollie McGowan though is a little bit wide. Gasper Zupan on the circuit in 14th position, but it's doing really well actually. Another relatively clean start. There's been a little bit of bumping and scraping, a few cars off the circuit, but it's definitely cleaner than what we've seen in what we see in some of our events that we run. And turn number 1 normally absolute craziness, but because of how the fast groove of turn number 1 here has worked out. Now Ollie McGowan was trying to get around the outside of Gasper Grabank, who went slightly sideways, but then Gasper Zupan was almost able to get past Ollie, who went on that wider line, and it slowed him down as he tried to do that. Up at your top of your field though, it's going to be Jorge Fernandez. He's got Malagale all over his wheel again. Now this is a battle that we were seeing obviously in race number 1. There's someone around through the exit of the penultimate turn now into turn number 1. Sorry, the final turn. And oh, that's a little bit onto the grass. Matt Legale is going to have to stay behind Jorge Fernandez, but he's got Malakar all over his rear. Malakar's going to go for the inside line into turn number 1. Is he going to be able to make the move on Matt Legale? It looks like he's going to be able to side by side. There's a little bit of contact, but Malakar's going to be able to hold it. I don't think there was contact actually. I think it was just a slide. I'm not too sure, but Strapone's up to 7th position now. That's the top drivers all sorted out and settled out between them. As it looks like keeping it together at the moment is Bojo Fuse ahead of Matej Voucher and Eduardo Sá. But Eduardo is going to move on the inside here. That's going to be the attempted move. Backs out though. And that's going to scare Matej off of the circuit. He's onto the grass. And it looks like everyone else is definitely going around. Daniel Riddell already into pit lane. So it's unfortunate to see that he's already having some issues. Ferran Grau already down your order, losing 2 positions straight away there. Fernandez up to P4, Matt Legale P5. This is going to be those 2 drivers battling the 2nd position once more. It's going to be absolutely crazy if it is. Going to be a battle for P3 between Fernandez and Legale again, but it's at the moment it's a battle for P4. Now there was definitely some contact in the background that we saw there. It's caused Ollie McGowan to go off. Now Gasper Zupan is up the inside of Gasper Grabank as the 2 drivers are very close together here. They've got Airtel Sintez just up in front of them, and 3 of them in the identically liveried number 7 car. Grabank on the rear of Zupan, the 2 Gaspers, and it's going to be Grabank on the inside of Zupan. It's going to be the position, but here comes Zupan, going to try for the switchback, can't quite do it. He's going to be on the rear of Gasper Grabank now. Grabank and Zupan running rather close together, going across the line there, and into turn number 1. 16 minutes still to go. Zupan has lost a little bit of time, and I just pressed the wrong button, and now I'm going to have to spam through your position. There we go, that one. Zupan sitting in 12th there. Steve Legale doing well this race in 14th. I don't think we saw him at all in race number 1. Rui Martins has got Victor Jimenez all on his rear. Jimenez is going to be behind Rui. Going to maybe make a move here. Going to ride on board with Jimenez. Going to attempt the move, can't quite do it. And he's going to have to stay behind, heading up into the hairpin. That's a little bit of a slide from Eduardo Sá. As Rui Martins has been hit off of the circuit by Victor Jimenez, who's slowed down rightfully to allow Martins back up the position, following our golden rule perfectly there by Victor. Ken Hunter in 20th position would have seen that, and maybe going to try and get up the positions with that. As Ollie McGowan looks like he's going to try and run the outside of chicane on Gasper Zupan, couldn't quite do it. But the pressure is still there. Steve Legale right behind this battle, just up ahead. There is that side-by-side between Airtel Sintez and Gasper Grabank here. Oh, right, yeah, there's a mouse cursor on screen. Sorry about that. Normally I disable it, but I've been playing around with OBS, so it's a whole new cane capture. I do apologise. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Gasper Gouveia in P number 11 at the moment has just been attempting to make pass into top 10 past Airtel Sintos. Couldn't quite do it. Now, will he be able to make the move through now? He's on the outside line. It's going to become the inside into turn number 1. It looks like he's too far back at the moment. He comes off the throttle and is going to sit behind into turn number 1. That battle for P number 12 between Ollie McGann and Gasper Zupan. It's also going in front of them as Gasper Gouveia has made some sort of mistake in turn number 1. Has knocked the Dunlop sign onto the circuit. He's going to get back running now, but he's down to 16th, and that's going to really take the pressure off of Airtel Sintos. Gasper Zupan not too far behind, though. Ollie McGann in 12th, also not that far behind. Now, Grau is in this 3-car battle for P number 4, which Fernandez leads Legale, who leads Grau. So the two of them rather close, and we're going to go run on board, but the guy who's makes a little bit of a mistake at the chicane is going to get on to the circuit now. And what I'm quickly going to do whilst we watch this battle is turn off capture cursor. There we go. It's all good now. Just while I remember. Thank you very, very much for that refocus. Oh no! Grau has pushed it too hard off the circuit. Matt Legale, though, is still on the rear. Fernandez, and will it finally be the overtake for Legale? He was hoping in race number 1, but it was Fernandez who obviously ran off the circuit, promoting Legale up into what was 3rd position in that race. It will be 4th position in this race if Legale is able to make the move. He moves to the outside line. He attempts it. And he's behind. Oh, he couldn't quite make the move. He moves to the left-hand side here. And he's going to be there. He moves to the right now. And it's going to be behind at the moment. He's going to move to the right side of the circuit. Will he be able to do it? He's been able to get about a car length, half a car length. Now it's a car length around the outside. Has to drop back off, though, through that left-hander. Switches it to the other side. There's a little bit of a wobble from Fernandez. He's forcing into the middle of the circuit. No, he's not. He's staying on the right-hand side. Looked like he was forcing it. Legale looked to the inside, pulled it back to the right-hand side. Going to stay behind Fernandez at the moment. Can't quite make the move. The green light's still showing on those LEDs. We are still very nice and clean. Most drivers keeping it together in this race. Obviously, those few issues that we have in race number 1 seem to have sorted themselves out for our drivers today. Matt Legale goes right up to the rear of Fernandez once more, and it looks like it's going to be an overtake. Which way will he go? He's going to move to the right-hand side. As defensive as he possibly can be from Jorge Fernandez. Matt Legale is on the inside line. He's going to have some big mahunas there to hold that line. He tried it, but he couldn't quite do it. And now Fernandez is staying ahead, and back involved just behind is Grau, who's been able to catch up with these two battling. Matt Legale is on the outside line still, though. If he holds it, it's going to be the inside. He can't quite do it. He moves to the inside now, which will be the outside line. He's a little bit side by side, a little bit of a wobble, though, there. And now Grau is really involved in this battle once more. Again, if these two continue battling in front of him, that would definitely be the position given to Ferran Grau. And it looks like Matt Legale is going to dive to the inside line. Looks to the inside. Jorge Fernandez holds his line perfectly there. And it's going to really allow him to hold that 4th position. Matt Legale going to have to hold on to 5th for now. Grau is going to be looking at this battle, knowing that he can get past and just hold it together this time. Obviously, he's been given a second chance in this race after making a mistake this last lap, in fact. And he's been able to catch straight back up with how much the 2 cars in front are battling. He's dropping off a little bit now. The fact that Jorge and Matt aren't running side by side. Ferran has the socks off, and we can see from on board here that Matt Legale moves to the inside. It's a little bit of a wobble, and that's allowed Grau to get back involved once more. And both drivers running slightly wide. Look how close Grau gets to the rear of Legale. Can't quite make that move, though. He's going to have to sit behind it. He's just watching this battle, knowing there'll be a mistake somewhere. Hoping there'll be a mistake somewhere. Really, again, it's just drivers exploiting track limits there. Matt Legale runs off, and that's what I was saying, the mistakes. But Grau had absolutely nowhere to go on the exit that corner. His steering would have been almost a complete lock on the left-hander, trying to get past Legale, but he's going to move up the inside. Very late move from Grau there. I was expecting him to do a half spin, because that was a very late move indeed. Thank you, Arnetta, for subscribing, and welcome to racedepartment.com. As we look at Miguel Muniz, who running nice and easy in 3rd position. It's a lot better than his first race where he retired after falling down the order quite a lot. Matt Legale, though, sitting in 5th position. He's got Jorge Fernandez ahead, and they now start to open up a little bit. And with Grau's half spin as well, just trying too hard to make a move, he's dropped off a little bit in 6th as well. further down your order, it looks like most drivers have really started to settle. Apart from these two here, Bozo Fuse in 15th is only just ahead of Gasper Zupan, and that was Eduardo Sa off the circuit. And now Bozo and Bozo and Gasper are going to have to make that move up the inside. Nicely done. Eduardo Sa is going to try and get involved in this. Speedy My Car is going to move to the right hand side. It'll be the inside in turn number 1. He can't quite do it. He has to hold it behind for now. Coming up to the line, going into turn number 1. There's a little bit of grass being kicked up from Gasper Grabank. He holds on to 15th. He's going to hold his racing line. And again, just a little bit of grass being kicked up on the exit of turn number 1. Gasper Grabank, though, still on the rear of, this is of Bozo Fuse for 14th position. I was looking at Gasper Zupan's name there. I was thinking, well, Ollie McGowan, he's not ahead. Just realised it's a different Gasper. God damn it. Two Gaspers. It gets confusing. Coming through the left-hander though. Oh, I tapped C again. Now to spam through this again. There we go. So, looking back towards... It looks like this is definitely one of the closest battles. I have to go check out that battle at the front for now, though, because Matt Legale has been able to close up, but that was Ian Navarro and Hosan Melika side by side. Melika's got the inside. It's going to be a little bit of a slide. Navarro is going to be trying to hold it, but that was... He was really disadvantaged from the contact from Melika. Melika is going to keep the position in 8th. Ian Navarro down to Pete number 9. They'll continue battling for that for now, though. As we continue to watch this 3-car battle, Fernandez ahead of Legale, ahead of Grau. Grau looks for the inside, but Matt Legale plants his car in the middle of the circuit to defend the line, giving Grau absolutely nowhere to go into that final turn, and it is going to be having to hold on to 6th position for now. With halfway through, well, over halfway through the stage already, only 8 minutes to go. Wow, it's on the rear of Legale once more. Is he going to be able to make that move through? He's going to be on the outside, the right hand side, but he actually takes it to the left. A much tighter entrance, and it looks like that's slowed him down just that little bit, starting to drop off of Matt Legale ever so slightly here. Now coming through the left-hander. He's behind Legale and also behind Jorge Fernandez. He's going to once again go for a really, really late move. And I don't know why Grau keeps on doing that, because if that leads to contact, it's going to be the end of both their races, really. And there's a really good position. So I don't know why Grau keeps on risking the really late moves. And it could be the fall of his race today. It looks like he's moving to the right hand side again. Is he going to go for yet another late move this time? He doesn't. He's too far back to think about making that move. Well, I would have said that during the hairpin. Matt Legale runs slightly wide down onto the grass. A little bit of a correction from Grau as he has to turn his wheel back straight before turning right again. Now onto the left-hander, and he is chasing down Matt Legale for the number 5. Sorry, and thank you, Luis Uri, for subscribing, and welcome to racedepartment.com. And into the final turn they go. Wow, all over the rear of Matt Legale. And it's not going to be the position at the moment. They come across the line with about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Surely that'll be about another 5 or 6 laps. Wow, slightly off the circuit there. It's going to disadvantage him ever so slightly. Will he be able to catch back up to Legale? I'm not too sure. Legale has actually dropped off of Jorge Fernandez, which means the pressure's not on Fernandez this time. So he might be able to keep it together. It's not a podium like he could have got in race number 1. The 4th position is still a very good finishing position indeed. Bearing in mind we had 28 races he started this race. 29 he started race number 1. Coming through the hairpin once again. Grau gets all over the rear of Matt Legale. And actually, I think he has closed up with that turn. Legale getting a little bit faster, but with the chicane coming up, I don't think it's any time really lost for Grau. But that is running slightly wide, slightly over the apex and slightly over the grass. That's going to increase the gap ever so slightly. Now into the next chicane. Is it going to be an improvement and a gap being closed up? Legale runs a little bit smooth. I was going to say runs a little bit smoother than the first time, but he runs completely wide. The foot stays on the throttle. That is a violation of track limits, but I don't really think he gained anything. He slowed down on the grass and these things anyway. Unfortunately for Grau, he also ran slightly wide. Only 2 wheels onto the grass. It still slowed him down enough that he wasn't able to catch up to Legale if he didn't, he would have been able to if he didn't run wide. Into the final turn though, drivers are really the pressure getting to them. They're pushing as hard as they possibly can, and maybe a little bit too much as well. This floating track limits is against RD rules, of course, and I think these drivers have been doing that quite a lot at that first chicane, and I think I will have to have a little look at that tomorrow during the day. That might be a warning for a few drivers, but here comes Grau up the inside, and once again, I was saying before, Grau's going to make a move that ends both their race. That was way too far back into a corner that's really difficult to overtake even when you're side by side with someone. I don't know why Ferran Grau thought that was going to be a good idea. Luckily, Matt Legale and Grau, both of them holding it together, and going to keep it clean. As Grau's been able to close up, but Legale gets a faster exit. He sacrificed his entry speed for the better exit speed. The drivers again, Grau pushing slightly too hard in that first chicane. It's going to allow Legale to pull away. And now coming up towards the second chicane. We've been running on board with Ferran Grau for so many laps now, but it's great to see a battle from this perspective. It really is, because Ferran Grau, this battle for P number 5 is really raging on. I am now going to go onto an off-board shot because we have been running on board with Ferran for about 5 or 6 minutes now, but we're going to be chasing down Matt Legale still in this battle for P number 5. That's the wrong way on my arrow key. Yellow flags are again. I don't think I've seen a yellow for a while, at least I haven't been paying attention and seen a yellow at least. Matt Legale though, he's definitely dropping off Ferdinand. I don't think there is going to be an overtake though. We've only got 3.5 minutes to go. That's about 2 or 3 more laps in the race. Matt Legale sitting in 5th. He's still got Grau behind, but actually I think that gap's increased, but that was going to be Legale slightly wide. That gap has increased between Grau and Legale, so that gap now is slightly wider. We're going to go have a little look elsewhere. I still think that 3-car battle is one of the closest, if not the closest battle we have, and it is indeed. I say that though, with 3 minutes to go, Dino Paolini is really close to Ivan Rico. Now we saw at the end, the gap between these two of race number 1 was less than a second, and at one point it was about 4 or 5 seconds. It seems like that's happened again, and Dino's actually been able to close once more to Ivan Rico. But this might be, he's been able to close up at such a point where he could make an overtake, and this could be an overtake for the lead in the race. Ivan Rico and Dino Paolini, they've got hardly any screen time in this broadcast tonight in either of the races, and now it's time to give them the screen time that they truly deserve. Both drivers being absolutely flawless in the event tonight, and I have no idea what we're running next week at the moment anyway. I think I have an idea, but I'm not too sure. That event will go out. If you want to join in these rFactor 2 streams, be sure to head over to rFactor 2, etc. course, anything really. Any of our club events, head over to racedepartment.com, become a premium member. It's only $7.50 at the moment. It's absolutely no money for the entire year as a premium member. You can also join our leagues, which we've got. We'll have 3. Well, we have 1 running at the moment, 1 starting in September, and 1 to be announced in about 2 weeks' time. So just listen out for that, and it's going to be amazing if you do join us, because we are a really nice community, and you would have heard that if you joined us yesterday in the caterings, because that was a lot of fun, a lot of banter going on. Even when I was didn't have the greatest of races, it's still quite a lot of banter going on. It was a lot of fun. But Dino Paolini, we're on to, I believe, the penultimate lap. I don't know whether these drivers, I think these drivers will be able to get across the line in a minute. I believe so, yeah, they will. So we'll have 1 more lap after this, and Dino's going to be trying his hardest to get past Ivan Rico. Will Ivan be able to take first in both sessions? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Dino Paolini qualified first. He started both races from first, but Dino just getting an amazing launch off the line both times, put him straight into the lead. Now back markers coming into play. Could that hopefully, Dino's thinking, could that hopefully benefit him and getting into the lead of the race with just 1 more lap to go? They come up to the final corner for the penultimate time to head on to the final lap. Yellow flags out once more, a little bit of a wobble from Dino. Blue flags will be out, hoping the back marker will move out of the way. He moves to the right, he slows down, he gets completely out of the way allows Ivan Rico and Dino Paolini through. That gap increasing ever so slightly. We now look towards Ivan Rico because he's just had an amazing weekend. It looks like he's going to take a second victory tonight. He won the first victory. It's been a really nice races for him today. And I would love to run these radicals again, and I think I will, but I don't think I'll be running them next month. Maybe the month after we'll bring back the radicals. That's another great circuit. Oulton Park, obviously a lovely track for these type of cars. Lovely track in itself. But this is a really good combination, I feel. I mean, I didn't actually drive the track beforehand. I didn't try the combination. I just know from experience what works well, and I also just guessed. That's what I do. I guess, and I guess with knowledge. That's what it is. It's an educated guess. That's what it is. And continue running through to find some setups on rFactor 2. All you have to do is over to racedepartment.com and you can find some setups. I know there are only a few, but if you ask the good drivers, they'll be happy to send you some setups. I'm very sure that they will. I know Steve Legale, he gets setups from people and then he distributes them out. So go to Steve Legale and I'm sure he can send you a number of setups for a number of different combinations. Ivan Rico though, going to come across the line to win tonight. Second race, Dino Paolini is going to take your second position once again. And again, a very close finish for them. I will give you an advice with the setups though, that once you have a setup for a car, it's pretty much that setup can run every single track with just a few adjustments. It's going to be side by side across the line there. And that, what's that battle for P number 5? Yes! My word, right on the line. Farron Grau gets past Matt Legale. Now, we were watching that battle for the lead. We didn't even see that. The Matt Legale loses out across the line to Farron Grau. They were really squeezing each other out there. But what a finish by those two drivers. The rest of the drivers come across the line. We'll run through the rest of your order now. So we'll go hit minimize. Ivan Rico though winning once more, even closer than race number 1. It was 9/10 in race 1. It is only half a second in race number 2. Miguel Muniz finished in 3rd position with Jorge Fernandez in 5th. Farron Grau only just, look how close that time was. Only about 0.05 of a second between Grau and Matt Legale. Cosimo Strapone finished in 7th position in the end. Ian Navarro in 8th. Then we have Johan Malika in 9th. Ollie McGowan running out your top 10. Running out the rest of your field with Steve Legale, Gaspar Zupan, Airtel Sintes, Rui Martins, Matej Vachhauer, Paul Fenwick, Bozo Huge, Eduardo Saar and Eric Overas. Then at the very end of your field, the bottom end of your field, you have Jazz Forsberg, Victor Jimenez, Ken Hunter, Kasper Gobenk and Daniel Rado. Only 3 retirements that race of Paul Schaefer, Simeon Oleski and Radosław Pieczarski. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's events then. Like I said earlier on, like I said yesterday as well, we are going to be going live every single day this week. Tomorrow we have the rookies on Assetto Corsa. Thursday we have the silhouettes on Race Room. Friday we have the rookies once more on Assetto Corsa, just a different rookie event. And Saturday we have a special stream as well as the fun event of Box Masters in the evening. And on Sunday we have Race Room Sunday, of course. And again, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.